prediction for tough economic times ahead caught the eye of many Canadians today. The ominous report by Merrill Lynch Canada warns the country could also be hit by a mortgage meltdown and a credit crunch. Many are surprised by the warning because it goes against the prevailing view that the Canadian market is fundamentally sound. CTV's Janet Dirks has more.
Based on the bustle and the promise from the banks to lend big bucks, it doesn't feel like an economy on the brink. But a new report suggests otherwise, warning it's only a matter of time before Canadians experience a financial crisis similar to the catastrophe south of the border.
Households can't indefinitely spend and invest in housing more than they make.
The Merrill Lynch report says the troubles in the U.S. began when banks lent people too much money to go out and buy houses, people who really couldn't afford them. Then housing prices plunged, and thousands of families already overextended were wiped out. The report warns since the price of Canadian homes are dropping, the clock is ticking.
You could see the genesis, if you will, of the same sort of vicious circle which could see house prices and Canadian credit markets, and in turn the banks that fueled the lending to Canadian housing really come under some greater pressure.
From credit cards to borrowing against home equity through lines of credit, what worries the Merrill Lynch team is that after 40 years of saving money, Canadians are now increasingly embracing debt and maxing out.
Some people are so close to the edge, with putting food on the table or keeping your lights on, that just one slight movement can push them over the edge into more debt.
Speaking in French today on the campaign trail, Prime Minister Stephen Harper was adamant he doesn't accept the conclusions of the Merrill Lynch report and argues the housing market is much stronger in Canada than in the United States. That's a consensus on the streets too.
I think there's a great difference between the financial institutions in Canada and those in the United States.
The Americans used to use their homes as ATM machines, and the Canadians are nowhere near that.
Most don't dispute times are tougher. Most don't want to panic either, despite pessimistic predictions suggesting that they should. Janet Dirks, CTV News, Calgary.